Today I am going to be stickering up two of my planners for the week of Valentine's Day. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are here for the first time, my name is Tracy and I like to put a lot of stickers in my planners, but I also use my planners very functionally. So today I have two setups for you guys. I am not going to be doing my weekly action steps. I did that in last week's video. They're pretty much going to be a very similar with just a few changes. So I figured we would just do some fun decorating today. So first I will be setting up and decorating my Hemlock and Oak vertical planner. This is my catch-all planner. I actually don't have very many stickers for this because this is super functional for me, but I do have these really cute stickers that I printed out from Creative Fabrica. My cutting machine did not cut all the way through very well, so I did have to cut them by hand. But those are really pretty. And then I'm going to supplement them with the Elegant Love Blooms 4 from Martinez Sticker Company. I printed these out as well. These I printed out on paper because I need to cover that. Plus I figured I can use them in some other places as well. And then after I do that, I also have washi. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use yet. This is from Simply Gilded, and this is probably Happy Planner washi. I pulled this because I don't think I've ever used it before. I might be leaning more toward this just because it's thinner, but this is also super pretty. This is from Simply Gilded. Of course, the black and red just matches it perfectly. Then I'm going to get into my Moxie Life Horizontal, which I use currently for creative projects planning. If you caught my very last video where I did the setup of this, you know that I set this up completely different from how it looks. So I will be continuing with that, where pretty much I use this section for lists that are not date specific, and then I just redate over here. So stay tuned to see what that means if you are curious. And for that one, I'm going to be using the Seasonal Love sticker book from Live Love Posh, because this is truly an all-in-one sticker book. It has sticker strips like washi. It has paper that is also stickers, and then of course there are a lot of stickers and boxes and stuff like that. There's also alphas or letter stickers. I pulled all of those out and put them all together, but I'm not going to be using any of those today. I do have an affiliate link for Live Love Posh and Martinez Sticker Company, so definitely check that out if you want some discount codes, because we all like to save some money. All right, so with that said, let's get started. I am also going to be setting this up very similar to how I did last week. So for the month of February, what I have been doing is pretty much ignoring the hours. Unless there is an appointment or something of that nature, then I will put that in for the hours, which I am going to need to do for a few things this week. But for the most part, I've been just kind of dividing this up into my morning routine, my work day, and then my evening routine, and then general to-do list. And then of course the weekends is a free-for-all. So that's just how I've been doing it. It's been working really well. I feel like for some reason I've been adding a lot more to my planner when I have that type of structure versus when I was using it as an hourly. I was not adding as much stuff. I wasn't adding as many of my to-dos. So yeah, so with that said, I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to decorate some of it first, like with washi and stuff like that. So I really want to get better about using washi in my planner spreads. I use it more frequently in my journal spreads, but you know, washi doesn't last forever. The stickiness starts to kind of deteriorate on the washi. Case in point, you will notice throughout this spread that some of the washi starts popping up on this page as well. So I think this one is coming close to the end of its lifespan. It's fairly old washi. So I'm going to be trying to make it a point to use it a little bit more in my planner. It's a little bit difficult though, to find a place to put it at, especially in this planner, because it's really just the top or the bottom, mostly the bottom. And I don't want it to get super thick because, you know, in one certain area, because that's the one place I keep putting it. So I'm going to have to like brainstorm other places to put it. I could possibly use it to separate my kind of evening to-dos from just my general things that I would like to do each day. because that's kind of how to organize this as well. Yeah, so let's talk about how I organize this. Now, I decided this week I want to put the actual workout that I'm planning on doing each day in this particular planner. So I used my Tombow Gray to just mark off a spot at the very top of the page where I'm going to record that information. I pre-plan that in my workout planner, but this is the planner that I am in multiple times a day, so I need as much information in here as possible so I don't have to go to multiple places to find what my plans are for the day. So I'm going to put that there. Underneath it, I left a tiny spot to just kind of pencil in my morning routine, and I have a little icon for that I will use for that. And then next is going to be my work. So it's not technically perfectly time blocked for work. I just did enough area for work where I can have about 6 lines for 6 daily to-dos. I did use stamps that say work to indicate that section. I just like to kind of separate the sections if at all possible. It just makes my brain work a little bit better when I'm trying to figure out what to put where. And then you can see where I drew boxes using the fine point tip of that dot marker and the bottom part of the hours to indicate my evening to-dos. So anything I put in where the hourly layout is, those are things that I really, really want to get done that day. Those, I don't want to say are like non-negotiables because some things aren't going to always get done, but those are the ones that are more your priority to-dos, things that I need to do every day, things of that nature. Even though I did put my YouTube video on there, those could technically be moved, but I put them up there. But then everything that's going to go below the hours, you will see I will create a generic to-do list there using dot markers. And then you saw me stamp an Instagram icon as well as a like food icon. Those are kind of things that I would like to do those days that are not necessarily things that have to get done that day. They can be moved to another day or what have you. I just want to make sure it's on my radar when I'm setting up my planner so I can potentially get it done that week. For Instagram, I like to hopefully try my best to schedule photos to go up on Instagram. So that's kind of what this is being used for, even though I have a planner that you'll be seeing me set up next for my creative content. I don't actually do that in that planner. I rather do that in this planner because again, it's planning out my days. And then for the little meal icon, that's where I'm going to start like mapping out my dinners because I've been really, really bad about meal planning. So that's kind of the gist of the functionality of the spread. I also use the sidebar for my to-dos, including YouTube to-dos as well. And yeah, I think that's it. Now you will see me add quite a bit of stickers, quite a bit for a functional planner. It's not really that much for a decorative layout, but I do add the stickers and I do try my best to strategically place the stickers in areas that won't impede too much on the functionality that I need. Now I am going to be using my icon stickers. Some of these I got from some Etsy shops and had them sent to me. Like I got some from Willow Waste Stickers, but I also got some from Etsy that I got as printables. I mentioned before, I think a lot of these are Plan So Cute stickers, and then I sized them down to be fairly small so they fit in this space a little bit better. But these are going to be, you know, the icons for my like morning routine and evening routine, my workouts and things like that, just so I don't have to like, you know, waste space writing it out. The icons take up a lot less space. All right, y'all, so there we go. This turned out super cute. You can see how it's still really, really functional. I put this big sticker here just because I know I don't need this space because I have something going on pretty much that whole day. And then everything else was pretty much, you know, I put it in the middle of two spots so that way I still had space on either side. And then of course I like to use the bottoms as well as the perimeter. So that is this one. This one is now ready to go. All right, so now if you thought I decorated my catch-all heavy, you ain't seen nothing yet, because we are going to be decorating this all up. And I do need to add something under it to kind of prop it up a little bit, although I'll probably end up flipping it over. So this is my project planner. Right now it's strictly creative projects. The way I set this up last week, which I really enjoyed, is I hid the days of the week and then I saved 2 boxes for certain types of projects. So planner projects, journal projects, PR projects, miscellaneous projects. And then what I do is if I know that I need to set up, like I did a complete February setup of one of my creative project journals. So I put that in there and then I started brainstorming like the types of materials that I wanted to use so that way I can gather those in advance because I did need to print some of them off and stuff. And then I look at all of the projects that I'm doing and figure out which ones I might want to record for YouTube. So it's actually been working really, really well. I've been using it kind of more as a notebook, I guess, rather than a planner. At least that's how I used it last week. I do date these though. So that way I can put any kind of specific dates or any type of specific like deadlines or release dates or something like that that I need to be made aware of. There we go. Words. So I think I'm going to still do that this week. All right, so how do we want to do this? I would like to use some of this decorative paper. I really like that polka dot. I really like the polka dot and the lips, if I'm being honest. But we could do both polka dots. That could be fun. Now, I like to leave the habit tracker here. If I'm being honest, I haven't really used the habit tracker like I should. But I still kind of want to leave that in here to use and to set up just in case things change and I end up actually using it. So I kind of want to go ahead and leave that. So after looking at the sticker set that I'll be using, I kind of decided during that quick flip that I was probably going to be using boxes in that little small space that is to the right-hand side of each of the, I guess, rows. So I could use some of the scrapbook paper over there because I'm going to be covering that up with the box and making that functional. So that was kind of my idea going in. Now, the one thing I do need to do now every week that I am not using the rows, like the entirety of the row, for my daily planning is I need to cover up the dates, which I would have to redate this anyway because it is a 2025 planner. So I would have to redate the dates, but I also need to now cover up the days of the week because, like I said, I want to use these for categories versus specific days, at least the larger portion of the row. So in order to hide that instead of just whiting it out, I'm just using stickers. Now, I was trying to be a little bit cognizant of the size of the stickers, not necessarily how it extended vertically, but I didn't want it to go too far over, so I was trying to make sure that they were a little bit narrow. That wasn't always, something that I was able to do, but I did try because I do need to leave quite a bit of writing room in that space. And I learned from last week that I do need a little bit more writing room than I had anticipated. Because again, last week was the first time that I've tried this in this particular planner as far as this new layout that I'm kind of creating. So I realized I needed a little bit more space than I anticipated. So that's why I try to not extend the actual stickers too far over into the writing space. So I did use the thin washi sticker strip to now separate the larger horizontal part of the box from the smaller horizontal part of the box, because like I said, that one's going to be dated. So I do like to have it separated, and I like it with the washi strip. Last week I used stickers. I used floral stickers, and then that kind of took up too much room that I needed. So I do like this washi. So in the future, if I'm not using this particular sticker book that has the washi sticker strips, I might be able to use some of my washi stockpile and use it before it goes bad. But now I'm adding these long boxes. Those are going to be the headers. So that's where I'm going to write planning, journaling, and then I think I'm just going to do like other. And then the other can be for PR. And then if I need more space and I run out of space for planning and journaling, usually right now I'm probably at the point in the month where I need more space for planning than journaling, because a lot of my journals I've either already set up or I will be setting up toward the end of the month. So right now it's kind of like the lull between like journaling setup spreads. But yeah, I like this. I like this kind of setup generally. So yeah, I'm just going to be adding some more boxes. Like I said, that is what I'm going to write my daily kind of reminders. So it's not really, I tried last week, I was like, maybe I'll write my daily to-dos, but I would rather do that in my catch-all. So these are going to be more of my daily reminders. So for example, I know on the 10th, there is a release for one of the shops that I am on the creative team for. I think Happy Planner might be having something drop on the 14th. I'm not sure, like other shops are dropping things randomly, or there might be a sale or what have you. Some of those sales are even surprises to me, but I like to write them in here just so if I'm aware of them, then I can kind of plan accordingly. So that's usually what I'm going to be using in that little small area where I put the boxes. That is generally it. You will see me add these little bullet points. Again, I really don't know how much space I need as far as pre-planning this. So if one of my planners, I end up needing 4 rows to write down all of the notes for that, and it goes into another bulleted spot, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to worry about that too much. That is kind of the thought process as far as the design goes for this particular spread. So I'm going to go ahead, let you kind of watch the finishing touches, and then we'll wrap everything up momentarily. Wow, this is so pretty. Of course, the stickers are pretty, so that's what's making it pretty. But I really didn't take up a lot of functional area, especially considering like last week's. It's a lot less, and it's because I use all of these decorative boxes over here. I feel like that really helped like pull a lot of the decorative elements over here. Even though these are functional, they look super decorative. So I really like how this turned out. Again, I'm going to create categories here, and then it's going to be weekly to-dos within those categories. And then this is going to be my daily to-do. So I'm kind of basically making this sort of like my notes section is a lot bigger than my weekly section. Making my own dashboard kind of layout. I like it. This is a lot of fun. So again, I use stickers from Seasonal Love, January through June. I believe this one is sold out, but July through December is still available. And again, my discount code will be down in the description box. I did pull my number stickers or my date number stickers from the Essential Dates and Numbers from Happy Planner. I'm not sure of that availability. And then I pulled the days of the week from Dated. I know that one's pretty much sold out. All of Mojo Jojo's Dated books pretty much sell out. And then in my catch-all, I used clip art that I got from Creative Fabrica and print it myself. And then I used some printable blooms from Martinez Sticker Company. So there we go there. Two actually very different spreads, but two that I think are both very, very cute. So I hope you enjoyed this decorate with me. If you did, please press that like button. And if you have yet to subscribe, I hope you would also consider subscribing to my channel. That is all I have for now. I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, or night. Until next time, bye.